Well, I look at Second Baptist being 140 years old. And back 140 years ago, there was a congregation that stewarded 20 years later, and so on until we get to where we are today. And so it's our responsibility to steward for the future, just as people 140 years ago stewarded for their future, which is us now.
Me and Lauren, when we first got married, stewardship of cash was simply like me getting it from work and putting it in my wallet. Like there was not this mass generosity because it's what if I need that next week. I had a pastor say give what you feel comfortable still giving to God without begrudgingly giving to God. And so that allowed us to grow and, eventually get to where stewardship is just a natural part of our lives now. And then my brother ended up passing away before they started off the first renovation here. We received a life insurance check from that situation. I had never been so driven to write a check to the church as whenever this came through. God had put it in my heart that we needed to be faithful stewards, so I can look back and how God grew us, and it was all for that opportunity to be able to fulfill what He'd given to us. God gave us a great opportunity to be able to steward the cash that He'd given to us into His kingdom. And sometimes He's just calling you to take that next step.
There's a song that Phillips, Craig, and Dean used to do about giving something that cost you nothing. And so that was, for us, an area that we really had to look at. What could we give up that we wanted to better the kingdom?
Jesus celebrated generosity from individuals giving what they had. I've been blessed my entire life by people who are generous, not because they were wealthy. My dad was never wealthy, but he was generous. And for me, this conversation is about my love for Second Baptist Church. 25 plus years that this has been my church family. This is a place that has given to me so much, these people, this house. My heart to be generous is super important to me because it pays tribute to those from back in Jesus's day who showed generosity, to my dad who showed generosity in everything he did. And from that spirit of people who have been generous around me, I'm super, super, super excited to make my pledge.
We have the luxury that we were youth here. Just to watch people pour into us, believe in us, trust us, send us as missionaries. And so now we get to watch college students transform, get married, have kids. So we're kind of in this middle. Everyone who's poured into us, now watching the next generation grow up. Our kids are now in the youth group and watching them love church, flourishing. It's a no-brainer. This is our family. This is our church. They have a need. You give whatever you can.
You may never meet the person that your gift impacts, but it doesn't change how impactful it is. I was a Vine kid and I was impacted by people giving that I will never meet or be able to think, but it's still just as impactful even though we don't get to say thank you.
Our funds are God's, not ours. We start our financials on the basis that we are going to honor Him and serve Him and give generously. Then we'll figure out how we live on the rest. That's a decision we made as a young married couple. I think as a young person, it's easy to say, when I fill in the blank. But at some point, we have to say, I am a part of God's economy, and I am going to make a decision to honor Him. We do that with our funds, we do that with our time, we give and we're generous in the ways that we can because it was all His to begin with. And He was generous with us. And so in return, we are generous to Him and those around us. But you have to at some point pick up the mantle. And that's not an age range. It's a heart choice.
Whether it's a big amount or a small amount, you're never going to regret giving to the Lord's house, giving to the Lord's people to further His kingdom, to further the mission that this church is set out to do.
He'll tell you if you're supposed to donate to this, if there's something else you're supposed to be generous with. God never tells us not to be generous, but He'll direct you where it needs to go. If there's a drawing in you to do something that's of the Holy Spirit, do that, because it's not of you. Like any of us to our own devices, we would not give away money that we could use somewhere else to take care of ourselves.
I was gonna say, just don't think about it. The longer, God put, literally, God has already put a number on my heart, and I'm not gonna think about it. Because the more I'll think about it, I'll be like, oh, I could do this, and I could pay that, and I could No, I'm just gonna do. There's a need, just meet it.
Isn't that right? Like, how often do we ask God, hey, move in our lives, do something great. We want to be a part of something big. And then when something big comes along, we overthink it.
Listen to the Holy Spirit. You have it within your heart. Like, listen to what it's having you do. So like the number that might be on your heart, that's the amount you need to pledge. God will take care of it, even if it seems crazy at the moment. God provides. If we don't have faith in that, then how small is our God if we can't think that He'll provide financially for us?
Listen, it's very different when you sit in on a Sunday and you see the stories of life transformation and you know you've given to that journey. I don't cry because I sat there and held my money with a clenched fist or held my time with a clenched fist. I sit there and I cry because I know I've given. As I watch a college student be baptized or new families having their children that were in our homes for College Vine, or whether I gave a little bit extra out of our funds because I wanted to make this a place where people felt like they could have a purpose and a sense of belonging. I cry because I've given.
Yes.
And so often we sit around wanting to receive from the Lord, and everything starts with giving back to Him every single time.